On my birthday, my boyfriend treated me to a whole morning at a spa, and that evening, he organized a beautiful dinner with all our friends at a restaurant. In the middle of dinner, right in front of everyone, he got down on one knee and asked me to marry him. My whole body froze. My heart actually stopped for a moment. I whispered, yes, yes, 1,000 times yes, with tears rolling down my cheeks. And then he jumped up, laughing so loudly, the restaurant shook and shouted, "It's a prank!" His best friend was standing there recording me, not even hiding it, not ashamed, not sorry, just excited, like my heartbreak was some kind of entertainment. People at other tables stared. Some covered their mouths. My own friends looked at me like they had just watched me get hit by a car. I don't remember my legs moving. I only remember the cold outside air hitting my face as I ran. That night was the first time my entire world snapped in half. Because what happened after that prank, what I discovered a few days later, that was the knife that twisted the wound he had just opened. He didn't apologize. He didn't comfort me. He didn't even try. Instead, I found out he had been cheating on me for months. And in that moment, something inside me hardened, burned, shifted into place. A new version of me was born that day. Because that's when I came up with the perfect plan for revenge. A plan so precise, so cold, so savage, it made him cry like a baby. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't even lie down. I sat on the edge of the bed in that ruined blue dress, mascara dried on my cheeks, staring at the wall like it might explain something to me. But all I heard replaying in my mind was his voice. "It's a prank." Over and over, like a broken record stuck in hell. Around 3 a.m., I heard the front door click. He walked in, stumbling, smelling like cheap liquor and audacity. He didn't even check on me. He didn't even knock. He just tossed his keys on the table and mumbled to himself like I was the problem. I stayed in the dark, watching the ceiling, wondering how the man I loved could look me in the face after doing what he did. Morning came, but the heaviness in my chest didn't lift. He acted normal, like nothing happened, like he hadn't destroyed me in front of an entire restaurant. And that silence, that calm, that casualness, it told me everything I needed to know. Because a man who loves you even a little can't sleep after breaking you like that. A man who respects you apologizes before you even ask. But him, he walked around humming, laughing, playing games on his phone. As if my humiliation was just content, as if I was just a clip, as if he hadn't shattered 6 years of love in under 10 seconds. And then, 3 days later, he finally opened his mouth. Not to say sorry, not to say I was wrong, not to say I hurt you, no. He leaned against the doorframe with his arms crossed and said, "So, you're still mad about that?" That was the moment my sadness died, and my anger woke up. Something inside me shifted, my tears dried, my heartbeat went cold, because right then, I realized something terrifying. He didn't think he did anything wrong. He genuinely believed I was overreacting. That was the moment I stopped begging for respect and started planning for revenge. And trust me, he had no idea what was coming. I stared at him, not blinking, not breathing, trying to understand how a human being could be so empty inside. "So you're still mad about that?" He said it like he misplaced my favorite mug, not my dignity. My jaw clenched so hard I thought my teeth would crack. "Mad?" I repeated slowly. "Mad isn't the word?" But he shrugged. Shrugged, as if my pain bored him. "You're being dramatic," he said, scratching his beard. "It wasn't that deep. People do prank proposals all the time." I swear something snapped behind my ribs. "You faked a proposal," I said quietly. "You recorded my reaction. You let the entire restaurant watch me fall apart. And you still think it's funny?" He rolled his eyes. "I gave you a whole spa day. I paid for dinner. You got treated all day. Can you stop acting ungrateful?" Ungrateful. That word hit me like a slap. I finally looked at him, really looked at him, and I realized something horrifying. He wasn't remorseful. He wasn't confused. He wasn't stressed. He was annoyed. Annoyed that I didn't just laugh, clap, and help him edit the footage for his stupid channel. And then, with that same coldness, he said the line that changed everything. "If you're this sensitive, maybe you're not ready for marriage anyway." I felt the blood drain from my face. Not ready for marriage? Me? The woman who loved him, supported him, Fed him, carried him for 6 years? I stood up, and the look I gave him made him step back. You know what? I said softly. You're right. His eyebrows lifted. You're not ready, he said smugly. No, I whispered. I'm not ready to marry a man who treats me like a joke, he scoffed. You'll calm down. You always do. Not this time. A strange calm washed over me, heavy, deliberate. He thought he had broken me. He thought I would cry and beg like always. He didn't understand. He wasn't talking to the same woman anymore. Because at that moment, quietly, without warning, without a scream or a tear, I made a decision. I was done. Not just done with him. Done letting him control the story. Done letting him humiliate me. Done letting him manipulate me. I didn't tell him my plan. I didn't argue. I didn't even raise my voice. I just said, okay. He smirked, thinking he'd won. But inside me, a fire was rising. Steady, slow, dangerous. Because if he wanted a performance, he had no idea who the lead actress really was. He stood up, panicking, reaching for my arm like he suddenly remembered how to feel. Babe, wait. Please don't go like this. Let me explain. Explain? I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, but because it was unbelievable how fast a man who mocked my pain could suddenly fear losing me. I turned slowly, staring directly into his eyes. Calm, steady, almost cold. There's nothing you can explain, I said. Because everything you did on purpose. His jaw trembled. His fake confidence was slipping like wet paint. That proposal, I continued, wasn't a joke. You just wanted a video. You wanted clout. You wanted people to laugh at my humiliation. You wanted views more than you wanted me. He swallowed. Hard. And then he whispered the line that finally snapped the last string, holding my anger back. It wasn't that serious. Not that serious. The way my heart broke. The way I ran out of that restaurant. The way my friends stared at me with pity. The way I cried until I could barely breathe. Not that serious? I stepped closer to him, so close he had to tilt his head down to look at me. You're right, I said softly. It's not serious. His eyes flickered with relief for half a second. Until I finished. Because you're not serious. You're not loyal. You're not even a man. Just a boy who needs attention to feel real. His shoulders collapsed. But I wasn't done. I leaned in and whispered, so only he could hear. And the worst part? I wasn't leaving because you pranked me. I was leaving because I know what you've been doing behind my back. He froze. His lips parted. His face went white. That one sentence hit him so hard it felt like the room lost air. You don't know what you're talking about, he stammered. I smiled. A slow, cold smile. I know everything. His hands started shaking, and I watched the fear bloom in his eyes like a fire spreading across dry grass. Because now, the real story was about to begin. The moment I said, I know everything, he reacted exactly the way guilty people do. He didn't ask what I knew. He didn't ask who told me. He didn't even pretend to be confused. He just froze. Like a criminal caught with the evidence still in his hands. I watched his throat tighten as he tried to swallow. His voice dropped to a whisper. Who told you? Exactly the question I wanted him to ask. I tilted my head, pretending to think. Does it matter? I said. Your messages, your late-night calls, your private meetups, none of it stayed hidden. He stepped back like my words physically hit him. That's not true, he said weakly. You don't have proof. You can't just accuse me. I don't need proof, I cut in. You just proved it yourself. His mouth fell open. And for the first time, the mask he always wore. The confident, charming, untouchable guy completely shattered. He looked small, cornered, terrified. I swear it wasn't like that, he begged. She meant nothing, okay? I messed up, but I lifted my hand, and he immediately went silent. You didn't mess up, I said. You made choices. He blinked, confused. So I stepped closer, letting him see exactly how calm I was, how controlled. You chose to cheat. You chose to lie. You chose to prank me. You chose to humiliate me in front of everyone. His chest rose and fell like he couldn't get air. I leaned in, whispering, and now I choose something too. He swallowed hard, terrified. What? I held his gaze unblinking. I choose to destroy your comfort. His breath hitched. And trust me, I added, I haven't even started yet. The color drained from his face completely. He finally understood. This wasn't heartbreak anymore. This was war. And he was on the losing side. He stared at me like he was finally seeing the real me for the first time. Not the soft version. Not the forgiving version. Not the girl who cried after his prank. No. He was looking at the version he created. The version he feared. What do you mean, destroy my comfort? He whispered. I didn't answer immediately. I let the silence sit between us. Heavy, suffocating, intentional. Then I stepped around him and picked up his phone from the table. He panicked instantly. Hey! Give that back! His voice cracked, beautifully. I held the phone loosely, almost carelessly, turning it once in my hand, like it was nothing but a toy. You changed your password recently, I said. Same night you told me you were too tired to talk. His entire face dropped. How do you even know that? He asked, breath shaking. A slow smile curved on my lips. You forgot something about me, I said. I don't need your password. His eyebrows shot up. I lifted the phone toward him. Because everything you thought you deleted, everything you tried to hide, every lie you whispered to her. I paused, watching fear ripple through him like a wave. It's already backed up. His knees actually buckled. You went through my cloud? He gasped. I shrugged gently. You gave me your login months ago. You forgot. I didn't. He grabbed the edge of the table for support. I walked closer, lowering my voice. You think you broke me with your prank? You think you humiliated me? You think you're the only one who knows how to play games? He shook his head desperately. Please, don't do anything. We can fix this. No, I said calmly. We aren't doing anything. I leaned in so close he could feel every word. But you're about to lose everything you're comfortable with. His breathing turned ragged. What are you going to do? He whispered, almost afraid to hear the answer. I straightened up slowly. You'll see, I said. Just like I did, piece by piece. And then I walked away, slow, steady, powerful, leaving him standing there, shaking, because for the first time, he wasn't in control. I was, and he knew it. He tried to follow me at first. I heard his footsteps behind me, fast, uneven, almost stumbling. Wait, please, just tell me what you're planning. I didn't even turn around. Go home, I said. My voice was calm, too calm. That scared him even more. I can't just go home like this, he shouted, his voice breaking. I need to fix things. I stopped walking, not because of him, but because I wanted him to feel the silence wrap around him again. Slowly, I turned my head, just enough for him to see half my face. You didn't try to fix anything the night you humiliated me, I said quietly. You didn't try to fix anything while you were cheating. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. So why? I continued. Should I care about fixing anything now? He looked like he was about to cry. And that image, that trembling, helpless expression on the face of the man who once laughed while I broke, it felt poetic. I swear I'll change, he whispered. Tell me what you want. I'll do anything, anything. I walked back toward him, slow, measured, every step intentional. When I stood in front of him, I could see his eyes glistening. Good. You'll do anything? I asked. He nodded desperately. Anything. I held his gaze for a long moment, then spoke. Okay, then I want you to live with the same uncertainty you gave me. He frowned, confused. I stepped even closer, lifting his chin with one finger. I want you to wake up every morning afraid. I want you to check your phone 100 times wondering what I've seen. I want you to feel the panic of waiting for something you can't stop. His breath hitched. That's cruel, he whispered. I smiled. You taught me. I turned to leave again. But this time, before I walked away, I added one final line, a line that drained every drop of color from his face. And just so you know, the first step of your downfall already started. His chest rose sharply. Wow, what does that mean? I didn't look back. You'll find out. And then, I walked away, my heels clicking like a countdown he couldn't stop. A countdown he didn't even understand yet, but he would. Soon. Very, very soon. I didn't go home after leaving him there. I wanted him to sit in his fear a little longer. Let every minute feel like a warning. Let his imagination torture him more than I ever could. By the time I finally walked through my door, my phone had already blown up with his messages. Please talk to me. I'm scared. What did you do? Babe, please, I'm begging you. Just tell me what's happening. I didn't open a single one. I just smiled, because for once, he was the one losing sleep. He was the one pacing back and forth. He was the one refreshing his screen every 30 seconds. Good. Let him feel it. I waited until almost midnight before I finally responded. One message. Just one. A single sentence. Check your email. After that, I put my phone face down. I didn't need to see his reaction. I could already imagine it. And I was right. Barely 20 seconds later, bang, 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 bang. He was at my door. Desperate, violent, panicked. Open the door, he yelled. His voice cracked on the last word. Please, tell me what you sent. Please. I didn't move. I didn't answer. I didn't even breathe loudly. Another bang, then another, then silence. A long, trembling silence. Then I heard his voice. Raw, broken, terrified. You didn't send it to her, right? I smiled. Oh, he figured it out faster than I expected. He hit the door again. Right! You didn't send it. Please tell me you didn't send it to her. Her. The girl he was cheating with. Of course. He knew exactly which door of his life I kicked open. He just didn't know how wide, or how many more were next. His voice dropped lower, smaller, like a child crying in the dark. What did you do? He whispered. What did you do to me? Another message vibrated on my phone. Then another, and another. His fear was growing, perfectly, exactly how I wanted. I finally walked toward the door, slowly, letting each step echo. I didn't open it. I just said one quiet line through the wood. You should get some rest. Tomorrow will be worse. He gasped. Actually gasped. Worse? What's happening tomorrow? I smiled, even though he couldn't see it. You'll see. And then I walked away from the door, leaving him outside shaking, because this was only the beginning of his downfall. Tomorrow was the real hit. He stayed outside my door for almost 20 minutes, sometimes whispering, sometimes begging, sometimes just breathing hard like he was trying not to fall apart. Then I heard his footsteps move away. Slowly. Like a man walking to his own execution. Good. Let him go home and let his mind destroy him all night. Because the real destruction? That was scheduled for the morning. By the time the sun rose, I was already awake. Calm, steady, focused. I made coffee, sat by the window, and waited. At exactly 7:12 a.m., my phone exploded with calls. Not one call, not two, 9, back to back. All from different people, people connected to him, people who were never supposed to know the things I had in my hands. I didn't pick up any of them. Instead, I opened my email, and there it was. He read it. The notification that told me my message, the one I sent last night, had been opened. The one with the screenshots, the recordings, the dates, the chats he thought he deleted, the pictures he promised he never took, the messages he swore weren't real, all of it. Delivered to the one person who mattered most to him, and the one person he never wanted to lose. His mother, yes. Not the girl he cheated with. Not his friends. Not some random person. I sent it to the person whose opinion he feared more than anything. The one woman he always tried to impress. The one he lied to about being a good man. The one he swore he would never disrespect any woman. She had everything now. Every detail. Every lie. Every betrayal. And she responded to me with one short sentence. Thank you for telling me the truth. I sipped my coffee, relaxed. Then, bang, 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 bang. It wasn't my door this time. It was coming from his house. I could hear it across the hall, through my open window. His mother's voice, sharp, furious, shaking the walls. Open this door right now! What have you done? What is all this? He yelled back, panicked. Mom, please, it's not what it looks like. Her voice exploded. The girl sent me proof, all of it, everything you hid from me. There it was, the first crack in his life. Then another voice joined. His sister, then his cousin, then his aunt on speakerphone, screaming from another city. Everyone was awake. Everyone was angry. Everyone knew. And I sat back, listening, calm as winter, because the real twist? I wasn't done yet, not even close. This was only the second step of his downfall. The third step would hit him where it hurt the most. And it was coming tonight. His family's voices crashed through the hallway like thunder. I heard things breaking, doors slamming, his mother shouting, him begging, stumbling over his words, trying to lie his way out of truth he could no longer control, and every single second of it felt like balance being restored. But the real hit, the one that would shatter him completely, that was reserved for the night. Because emotion destroys pride, but exposure destroys reputation. And he valued his reputation more than anything, more than loyalty, more than honesty, more than me. So that's exactly where I planned to strike. By afternoon, he was calling me nonstop. 20 calls, 40, 60, voicemails pouring in, filled with panic. Please, please talk to me. I can't breathe, please, you're killing me. I'll do anything. I swear I'll change. My mom won't look at me. My sister blocked me. Just tell me what you want from me, please. I played none of them. I didn't need to. His fear was loud enough without sound. By evening, the calls stopped. Not because he calmed down, but because he realized something worse. I hadn't even responded. Not once. Silence is the sharpest weapon, and it was slicing him beautifully. Then, at exactly 9:03 p.m., he showed up outside my building again. This time, he didn't bang the door. He didn't scream. He didn't beg. He just stood there, quiet, shaking, defeated. I watched him from my window. His hair was a mess. His eyes were red. He looked like he hadn't eaten, hadn't slept, hadn't breathed properly in hours. Good. Let him feel every ounce of the chaos he created. When he finally spotted me by the window, he whispered so softly, even the wind almost stole his words. Please, just tell me what's happening tonight. I stepped away from the window, walked to the door, opened it halfway, and leaned against the frame. He stared at me like he was seeing a ghost he created. What's happening tonight? He repeated, voice trembling. I tilted my head. You'll find out in an hour. His jaw clenched. Fear shot through him again. An hour? He whispered. For what? I slowly crossed my arms. For the part, I said softly, where everyone else sees what your family saw. His eyes widened. No, he breathed. No, no, no. Please don't tell me you. I cut him off. Go home, I can't, he cried, voice cracking. I can't survive another hit. Please, I'm begging. Please don't ruin my life. I stepped closer, my voice low, cold, controlled. You ruined mine first. I'm just returning the truth to its owner. He shook his head desperately, tears forming. But I love you. I didn't let him finish. Then you should have acted like it. He collapsed to his knees, actually fell, right there in the hallway, hands in his hair, chest heaving, crying like a man who finally realized the countdown had reached 0. I walked past him without looking down. Your hour starts now, I said, and when the clock hit 10:03, his entire world would break, not just at home, not just privately, publicly, and he knew it. He stayed on his knees long after I walked past him. I could hear his breathing, shallow, broken, desperate, echoing down the hallway like a man trapped underwater, but I didn't look back. He didn't deserve even that. When I stepped inside my apartment, I checked the time, 9:12 p.m. 48 minutes left. He knew it. I knew it. And the silence between us carried the weight of a countdown neither of us could stop. My phone buzzed again. A message from him. Please don't do this. I'll lose everything. I stared at it. Then typed back. You should have thought of that before laughing at my pain. He read it instantly. I could almost feel his panic through the walls. A few seconds later, he appeared at my door again, but this time he didn't knock. He just stood there, hands trembling, eyes swollen, looking like he'd aged 5 years in one day. When he finally spoke, his voice was barely a whisper. Who are you sending it to? I held the door with one hand and leaned against the frame, completely calm. Everyone who deserves to know who you really are, he swallowed hard. Who? My friends? My coworkers? My coach? My group chat? I didn't blink. All of them. He staggered back like the words physically hit him. No, please, not them. They'll destroy me. Please, I'm begging, don't do this to me. I stepped closer. You did this to yourself. He shook his head in panic. No, no, she'll see it. Everyone will see it. I can't face them. They'll think I'm… Exactly what you are, I said coldly. He dragged a shaky hand through his hair. I'm going to lose my job if this gets out. I'm going to lose my reputation. I'm going to lose everything I've built. I leaned in, my voice sharp and steady. And what about me? Did you think about what I was losing that night? My dignity, my trust, my self-worth, my voice, my peace? He dropped his gaze, chest heaving. I know, he whispered. I messed up. I destroyed everything. But please, I can't survive what you're about to do. For a second, I just watched him. This man who once laughed as I cried, now sobbing in front of me, begging for mercy he never gave. Then my phone lit up. 9:34 p.m. 29 minutes left. I pulled out the phone and showed him the screen. His eyes widened when he saw the scheduled post, a complete package. Screenshots, voice notes, dates, proof, everything. Set to go public at 10:03 p.m. automatically. His breath stopped. Cancel it, he begged. Please. I'll do anything. Anything? I repeated quietly. He nodded fast, desperate. Anything. I swear. I'll change. I'll fix everything. I'll prove it. Just, please, don't destroy me. Silence. Then I said, You won't fix this because you care. You'll fix it because you're terrified. He lowered his head. Yes, he whispered. I'm terrified. I stepped back and began closing the door. His hand shot forward to stop it, but I didn't let him. Your hour isn't over yet, I said. Go home. He hesitated. Please, he whispered. Just tell me what I need to do to stop that post. I looked him right in the eyes. You'll know at 10:02. Then I shut the door in his face, leaving him outside, shaking, crying, begging, waiting for the minute that would decide his fate. And the moment the clock hit 10:02 p.m., I was going to give him the final instruction, the one that would break him, the one he would obey, the one that would flip the entire story. Because the real twist? He wasn't the only one being exposed tonight, not even close. 9:50 CX p.m., 6 minutes to the deadline. The apartment was silent, almost too silent. Even the air felt heavier, like the walls themselves were holding their breath. I stayed seated on the edge of my bed, phone in hand, watching the seconds tick by. 9:57 p.m. A faint sound broke the quiet. Footsteps, slow, dragging, defeated. He was outside my door again, but he didn't knock this time. He didn't speak. He didn't plead. He just stood there, like a prisoner waiting for his sentence. I could practically feel his panic pressing through the wood. My phone buzzed. A message from him. Please. I can't breathe. Another. I swear I'm not that person anymore. Please stop this. And another. Shaky, frantic. Tell me what to do. Please, I'll do anything. I finally stood up and walked to the door. But I didn't open it. I just spoke through the wood. Calm, steady, cold. You had an hour and you wasted 59 minutes crying. I heard him inhale sharply. Nayala, he whispered, voice breaking. You want to keep your life from exploding tonight? I asked. Yes, he said instantly. Yes, I'll do whatever you ask. 9:58 p.m. You sure? I asked. Because what I'm about to tell you, there's no coming back from it. He pressed his forehead against the door. I don't care, just tell me. Silence. Then I said, Open your notes app. He took a shaky breath. I have it open. Good. Type this exactly as I say it. I waited. He waited. Then I gave him the first line. I lied to everyone. He sniffed, typing fast. Next. I cheated on Nayla for months. I heard his breath hitch. His voice was barely audible when he spoke. Do I really have to say that? You already did it, I replied. Now write it. Another moment of silence. Then typing. Then I continued. I used her money. I disrespected her. I humiliated her. And I blamed her for everything. His breathing grew louder, unsteady, devastated. Typing, typing, typing. 9:59 p.m. And now, I said softly, type the last line. He didn't speak. He didn't breathe. He waited. Then I delivered it. Starting tomorrow, I'm entering therapy, taking accountability, and stepping away from my channel until I fix myself. He froze on the other side of the door. That's everything, he whispered. No, I said. Not yet. I let 1 full second pass. Then, now copy it. Paste it into your Instagram, all platforms. Post it. He gasped like I had stabbed him. Nayla, please. People will drag me. I'll lose followers. I'll lose sponsors. They'll cancel me. My career. You ended that career the night you pranked me. 10 p.m. He sucked in a painful breath. Nayla, please. Anything else. I'll do anything else. Don't make me destroy myself online. I unlocked the door. He lifted his head as it opened. Eyes red, face pale, hands trembling like a child about to be punished. I stepped close. So close I could see the panic swimming in his eyes. You destroyed yourself, I whispered. I'm just making you admit it. 10:01 p.m. Post it, I said. He stared at me, broken, defeated, crushed. If I do this, he whispered shakily, will you cancel the scheduled post? I didn't smile. I didn't blink. I just said, you'll find out at 10:03. His whole body trembled. He looked at his phone, then at me, then back at his phone, and with a small broken sob, he hit post. The moment he did, the notifications exploded. His screen lit up like fireworks. Comments, messages, screenshots, reactions. He looked destroyed. But the minute wasn't over yet. And at 10:02 p.m., I finally told him the truth. The twist he never saw coming. A twist that would shatter the entire story. And expose someone else completely. For a moment, the air around us felt electric. The kind of silence that warns you something irreversible is coming. Michael stepped closer, his voice barely steady. He's not dead, he said. Not loud, not dramatic, just honest. A single sentence, and my entire world tilted. Liam staggered back like someone had punched the breath out of him. I pressed a hand against the table to stay upright. Everything inside me tightened. My stomach, my chest, my throat. What do you mean he's not dead? I whispered, each word trembling. Michael pulled out the second item from the envelope. A document, stamped, signed. Recent. Your husband, he said slowly. Never died in that accident. He survived. But he disappeared before anyone could reach him. My pulse roared in my ears. No, it couldn't be. We buried him. We mourned. We cried until we couldn't breathe. Liam snatched the document, scanning it, jaw locked. This is real. These signatures. The date. The hospital name. His voice cracked. He was alive, and then Michael dropped the final blow. He didn't disappear by choice. Someone hit him. Someone lied to you both. Someone close. The room spun. My knees weakened. Because suddenly, painfully, everything from the Hook scene made sense. The shadow, the voice, the warning, the feeling that something wasn't over. I found him, Michael added softly. And he asked for you. My heart stopped. He's alive, he repeated. And he wants to tell you the truth himself. Liam rubbed his face, overwhelmed. Why would anyone hide him? Michael looked straight at me. Because the accident wasn't an accident. The floor fell out beneath my feet. My breath broke. This was the moment I had been running from since the beginning. The moment the Hook scene had been pointing toward. The moment everything finally connected. He's waiting, Michael said. I closed my eyes, feeling everything, the fear, the shock, the ache, the hope. When I opened them, one thing was clear. The story didn't end with loss. It began with the truth. If this story shook you even a little, don't forget to like the video. It really helps more people find it. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next twist-filled story. And tell me in the comments, what would you do if this happened to you? If someone you know loves emotional, shocking life stories, share this video with them. You never know who needs to hear something like this today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay strong, stay brave, and I'll see you in the next story.